Hi everyone, I'm Larry Satchwell, and I just finished making this teether for a little baby named Ben Summers. My good friend David Summers and his beautiful wife Amanda had their first child. He's 3.5 months old, and these are first-time parents, so they've never gone through the agony of a child trying to cut teeth. There's just not a lot you can do for them, and it's just misery for the kid. So hopefully this little teether will help him have something to gum on and entertain himself with. The bird itself is hard maple, and I found some little wings here that looks like feathers out of a cherry. So I did copy this off the internet. I saw several different people selling something similar, so I don't like to copy things like that, but I think it was a really good design, and whoever came up with it, I'll give you kudos. If you leave me a link, I'll give you credit for it. If you want to see how I made it, just stay tuned. The first thing I did to get started on this project was sketch out a bird. This is 1.5 inches. I think I'll put an 1 5/8 hole in the real one, but I wanted to get some dimensions on it and see what it was going to look like and get this smoothed out. So the next step is to harvest this wood. My daughter and her husband recently remodeled in one of the bathrooms and took out some cabinets. Well, this is hard maple, so you can't ask for a better teether and rattle than hard maple, but it's too thick and I've got to get it out of here. So I'm going to take it over to the my miter saw and just slice off the ends here and see what we've got after that. This panel shouldn't be glued in, and it's not. Get the finish off on both sides. To the planer. I want to cut this out while it's full thickness here. So what I want to try to do is get two birds out of here with about a 1/16 of an inch overlay at any rate, to be able to sandwich these together. So I've got the pieces cut out. This is the middle. So now what I need to do is make a space for the rattle. I'm going to be using I'm going to be using some popcorn in here. But I need to make sure that we've got plenty of glue around here, and I don't want any places where the corn can catch. I want a nice rattle. Take it out to the edge because I want some squeeze out. Squeeze out is a good thing here. So this is where I want to make sure I have some overlap, and it doesn't have to be big, but I would like to make sure it's on all the sides. So this is Orville Redenbacher's organic corn, not from the microwave. I still prefer to have popcorn that's not microwaved. I don't want this thing to drive Amanda and David crazy. I think it would shake a little bit better, though, if I took a few out. I don't want to glue any popcorn in here. And, again, put this on there very carefully. It's really hard to get clamps so close together as you need them here, so I'm going to put some weights on this. And looking down there, it looks like it's a good set. So I'm going to leave this in overnight. Come back tomorrow and we'll sand all those layers flush. So these weights have been on here overnight. And it is thoroughly glued up here. But it's a little too thick, I think. Let's see what this is. So this is exactly 1 inch. It's too thick. And my planer only goes down to 1/4 inch. So that's why these are so thick. And it doesn't really rattle. Full disclosure here, I've already made one of these, and I just wasn't satisfied with it. I tried to put these wings on and then sand it, and I got some dents here, but this one is right at 3/4 of an inch, and it rattles really nicely. But it's just not good enough for Ben. So that's why I made the one for maple. But I need to thin this down. So to plane this down, I made a little sled here for my planer. I don't want this to have any snipe, and these long things will prevent that. And I can take this down. I can take this down to 1/4 of an inch if I want to, but that's not the case. So what I want to do now is to get this taped thoroughly down, and the grain goes different directions. So I think it doesn't matter which one I do first. This is 2-sided tape. I get mine from Taylor's Family Supply. This is 3/4 inch, or this is 1 inch, I believe. And this stuff sticks tenaciously. And I'm going to make sure I've got a good application here, because I sure don't want this thing to blow up inside my planer. All right, I need to be aware of the grain orientation here. It's actually perpendicular to the other side, but I've left enough room in the middle here to put this down. Well, that worked just like I planned. Let's see what it sounds like now. There we go. Oh, that is a lot louder. Even with my hearing aids, I can hear that. The next step is to get this trimmed down to size. So I searched through my scraps, and I found these 2 pieces of cherry that look like they had feathers on them. I've only got one shot to do this and to get it right. I'm doing this because I think this, adding the wings, distinguishes this bird from the other ones I've seen being sold on STs and others. So this time, where's my original? On my original, I did not smooth these off at all or round them off. I wanted them to blend in, and in blending them in, they blended in too far. I mean, this isn't bad, but it's not good enough for Ben. So on this one, I have already rounded off the edges, smoothed this down a lot. I've got one shot, but if I have any squeeze out of the glue on the edges here, it's not going to take the mineral oil finish. So I've got some Starbond flexible medium thick CA glue here. Then I'm going to put a dab in the middle, but I'm going to put Titebond 3 all along the outsides. So I've got a wet cloth here. I've got a dry cloth here. I'm going to hold this a few minutes while the Starbond grips and holds it. Then I can wipe off any excess glue, and then I'll put clamps on it overnight. The flexible CA glue means that if there's any wood movement, and it's such small pieces, there's going to be very minimal wood movement. But if there is any possible wood movement, this won't get brittle. All right, my one shot here. A little squeeze out in the front, a little squeeze out in the back. I want squeeze out, but not excessive squeeze out. The wet rag here and remove all of that. It takes a while for Titebond 3 to set up. So I'll come back in a couple hours and do the same thing to the other side. Well, Ben, that's as good as I can get it. Well, I just took it out of the clamps. I'm really happy with it. Only a couple more things to do. First of all, it's going to go for a bath. That last mop I used was at one point $2.20, but I've used it for years. What I want to do here with the water is to raise the grain. And I want this to be smoother than little Ben's bottom. So I'll raise the grain here. I'm going to let this thoroughly dry. Come back and buff it one more time with that worn out 220 grit mop. And then I'll apply the food safe finish. We're really close. It's a good thing those games are coming up soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed that build. Thanks for watching. And I'll try to add some video here of Ben chewing on it or playing with it when I see them this weekend. Once again, thanks for watching.